Kazakhstan's nuclear disarmament initiatives have earned international recognition. The country is the first to voluntarily give up nuclear weapons and become one of the world leaders in denuclearization. Kazakhstan's participation in solving one of the most global problems of the century and adherence to the principles of nuclear safety put Kazakhstan on the map as a mediator of international conflicts. Kazakhstan has also played a significant role in the settlement of the Iranian nuclear program by providing a platform for negotiations in the 5+1 format. Another step proving Kazakhstan's world recognition as a country advocating nuclear security was the opening of the IAEA Low-Enriched Uranium Bank. The anti-nuclear experience of the Republic is of interest to many foreign countries, including South Korea.
As far as I know, there is only one country in the world history which gave up nuclear weapons they developed in exchange of economic development, which is Kazakhstan. South Korea is very much interested in learning from Kazakhstan's experience of denuclearization.
Почему корейские коллеги проявили особый интерес именно к Казахстану, я думаю, объяснять нет.
Korean colleagues have shown particular interest in Kazakhstan. Our country has long positioned itself as a strong supporter of nuclear disarmament in the international community. August 29th has become not only our holiday as a celebration day of the closure of the Semipalatinsk nuclear test site, but it is also an international day against nuclear tests and the peaceful use of atomic energy.
Ядерного полигона. Но это и Всемирный день мирного использования атома.
Kazakhstan is one of the most attractive countries for foreign investments in subsurface resources management. At the MINEX Mining and Exploration Forum, foreign experts commended measures undertaken in Kazakhstan aimed to reform investment-related legal framework and various norms on the use of subsurface resources. The development has allowed Kazakhstan to attract new investments for geological exploration purposes. During the forum, representatives of a Qatari mining company expressed willingness to invest from $10 million to $50 million in a Kazakh mining field. We see Kazakhstan as the most promising country in the Central Asian region, given that the country is said to be accessed by international investors and foreign funds who are willing to implement projects in this market. A new code on subsoil and subsoil use adopted by the Kazakh government in 2017 reveals new opportunities for foreign investors operating in Kazakhstan. The document is highly important as geological and mining industry is the second largest sectors of the Kazakh economy. Kazakhstan's experience in reforming the legal framework has attracted interest in its neighboring countries.
У вас уже введен кодекс о недропользовании, КРИКСКа.
Kazakhstan introduced the Code on Subsoil Use and the KRIKSCO standards. It is very important for us to learn from your experience. We are closely cooperating with the Kazakh companies involved in the development of Bozimchak and Shiralzhin deposits in Kyrgyzstan.
В основном медь содержащие, золото.
Kazakhstan is one of the world's leaders in production of natural resources such as uranium, titanium, and ferroalloys. The Turkestan region's export potential is being expanded. Local authorities will provide affordable financing and create a project office for entrepreneurs who export domestic products abroad. The region mainly exports mineral products. Last year, the export volume amounted to nearly $200 million. The region's meat is also in demand. The total export volume of the region has exceeded $344 million. Currently, Russia and Uzbekistan are the main consumers of the products imported from the Turkestan region.
Енді менің көтерген сұрақтарым бұл экспортқа шығып жатқан шикізаттарды азайту.
I believe that we need to reduce the volume of raw materials for export. We have to work on recycling. Suffice to say that the Turkestan region exports safflower seeds to countries such as China, Uzbekistan, and Iran. In the future, we plan to export the raw materials as well as finished products like safflower oil.
Қытай, Өзбекстан, Иранға жіберіп жатырмыз дән күйінде. Егер май күйінде жіберетін болса, ол өте жақсы болар еді.
The Arkalik meat processing plant will find new markets to export its products. The potential markets are Russia and the Central Asian countries. The facility was opened less than 6 months ago. To date, approximately 100 tons of meat have been processed there. The meat processing plant will reach its full capacity in summer. The company produces a wide range of products, particularly 12 types of sausages and 3 types of canned food. We are exporting our products to domestic markets, including the Kostanay city and the capital of Kazakhstan. There is also a request coming from Russia. 2 months ago, we received halal certificate. This allows delivering the products to Muslim countries. This year, the export of meat will be increased by 4 times in the Almaty region, specifically from 1,000 to 4,000 tons. Negotiations are being continued on the export of beef to Russia, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Saudi Arabia, and Iran. In total, the region's meat productivity has increased by 3% compared to 2017. Second Central Asian Research Forum on Sustainable Development and Innovation was held in the Kazakh capital. At the forum, scientists presented projects in chemistry, mining, agriculture, tourism, energy, education, and infrastructural development. The meeting of the regional PhD degree holders and British partners was held at the Astana International Financial Center.
Если мы хотим строить светлое будущее,
If we want to achieve success in economy and at the same time support sustainable development, we should bring the economy in harmony and balance it with the environment. Kazakhstan stands by the Green Economy Development Strategy, which allows us to boost our economic development with minimal harm to the environment and society.
приносили минимальный вред экологии и обществу.
An ordinary root of the Kazakh dandelion of the Taraxum coxsagis species can be used to produce car tires, bioplastics, fructose, and inulin. The unique agricultural project aimed at production of natural rubber from the local plant was presented at the forum by the national coordinator of the European Union's framework program in Kazakhstan, Kamila Magzieva. According to the coordinator, it took 12 years to develop the innovative technology. The project developers involved Kazakh scientists as well as their EU partners.
Натуральный каучук в мире – это сейчас очень большой дефицит.
The world is facing a very big deficit for natural rubber. The whole world is now fighting for 3 main products that can take the world to the next level of sustainable development. These are rare earth metals, including lithium and natural rubber. We have found out that we worked on 2 projects, the European project, and we have completed the Kazakh one. We found out that in 25 years, the main source of the natural rubber in the world will be coxsagis.
Источником натурального каучука в мире будет коксагыс.
Ecotourism, metallurgy, as well as themes of biodiversity and ecologically sustainable development are global topics that were discussed at the forum by delegates from Uzbekistan.
Без изучения общих вопросов экологии невозможно решить вопросы биоразнообразия.
Without studying environmental topics, it is impossible to solve biodiversity problems, especially the sustainable development. Therefore, I think that a very good topic was chosen as part of 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which were approved in the United States in September 2015. This goal, I think, will be discussed today, and specific proposals will be given on the further sustainable development of our region, Central Asia.
По дальнейшему устойчивому развитию нашего региона Центральной Азии.
Ambitious researchers from Central Asian countries expect that their projects will not be neglected and will be implemented and applied in various industries. The second Central Asia Climate Change Conference was held in the Uzbek capital. The first conference was held in January 2018 in Almaty. Government officials and environmentalists of the 5 Central Asian countries discussed measures undertaken in the Central Asia region aimed to prevent environmental deterioration. Today, the climate change impact is observed in all economic sectors, and experts believe that the Central Asian region has one of the highest vulnerability levels. Experts also believe that the countries can maintain stability and preserve food safety only by means of consolidated efforts.
Наши все страны
All Central Asian countries have certain economic and social assets. If we unite our strengths, it will be easier for us to adapt to changes in fields such as water management, agriculture, hydroelectric power, and other developments, because we have mutual interests. However, if we choose to work separately, we can also succeed, but the journey will be much longer, more difficult, and probably much more expensive. Therefore, we convene these conferences to turn them into common platforms for climate change improvements in our region, and we hope to succeed. At a conference held in Tashkent, Kazakh Energy Ministry officials announced that the Kazakh government is planning to introduce a new environmental code by the end of the year. The document is being developed by the ministry officials and will include provisions on climate change. Kazakh experts believe that the new developments will encourage natural resource users to introduce green technologies. Kazakh Energy Ministry is developing a new environmental code which will include provisions on climate change. The deadline for the document's submission to the Majlis is December 2019. We established working groups focused on the code development. The conference participants also addressed the effective use of transboundary rivers. According to specialists, if the global temperature rises by 4 degrees Celsius, the demand for irrigation water will increase by about 30%. It will lead to melting of the glaciers in the region, which have decreased by 1/3 of its volume in the early 20th century. Therefore, implementation of joint plans aimed at environmental improvements and prevention of ecological deterioration is a priority for the Central Asian countries.
Вопрос, что делать дальше. То есть от просто призывов прийти к конкретным действиям. Что именно нужно сделать для того, чтобы снизить эти риски.
We need to think about our further activities and move from appeals to certain actions. We also need to decide what we should do in order to mitigate the risks posed by the climate change, especially in Central Asia, because a substantial area of the region is covered by mountains, where glaciers are exposed to the risk of decreasing, which may bring changes in ecosystems. The climate change may also result in reduction of water resources and deterioration of its quality. Climate change is a complicated challenge which needs to be addressed using an integrated approach.
Широка, как говорится, и глубока. И к ней надо подходить к интегрированным подходам, а не односторонним.
The Aral Sea countries have successfully restored improvements at the sea through joint efforts. Currently, there are 23 fish species in the sea, including 14 commercial breeds. Regional environmentalists planted haloxylon and other plants on the dried seabed in order to consolidate the sand and decrease the spread of the salt. Karagandi hosted the 5th International Festival of Robotics, Programming and Innovative Technologies, RoboLand 2019. More than 300 teams from Kazakhstan, Russia, Uzbekistan and Italy have competed in 13 categories. This year, the festival has changed its format. The competition of bioengineering projects has been organized for the first time. An independent professional jury evaluated contestants. The results were concluded electronically. Innovations in robotics have been exhibited at the festival. In addition, as part of the event, trainers and teachers attended an extensive business program, seminars, masterclasses and presentations by leading Kazakh and international experts. Our team consists of 6 people. We have presented our project. The project's main purpose is to construct a robot that assists people with disabilities. To date, 4 children's technoparks have been created in the Karagandi region. This year, the number of these educational centers will be doubled. Young Dombra players from the town of Saran in Karagandi region won a grand prize at a prestigious international competition held in the Czech Republic. It is the first victory for the musical ensemble Umit. The musicians performed a famous quiz by Kurmangazi and a medley of Russian folk songs. Artists representing Germany, Poland and Russia were among the contestants. The contest was very interesting. Various musical instruments and solo performances were featured at the competition. Our young musicians gave an outstanding performance, showcasing their performing skills. The audience enjoyed their performance. The judges commented that our musicians played like a large orchestra. The young performers were judged by leading musical experts from Prague. At the competition, Kazakhstan was represented by 3 musical bands. The ensemble Umid consists of 8 members aged between 9 and 12. French gastronomy is a national pride and one of the greatest assets of the country. France has always been considered as a trendsetter in the culinary art. Kazakh specialists are adopting the techniques and experience in cooking French dishes. Famous French chef Marc-Aurèle Vaca conducted a masterclass in the Kazakh capital. Chef Vaca is the Michelin-starred chef and a member of the largest French culinary art institute.
It's interesting because first you've got chefs from overseas coming maybe with some new techniques or some new way of doing things and some new approach as well, because food is an approach, it's a mindset. So we do a beautiful French recipe which is called nougat glacé, extremely classical, and we're going to apply this recipe with product from here, which is the dry apricot.
Это его страсть. То есть, когда приготовление пищи это или страсть.
The chef is very passionate about cooking. When cooking is a passion, it says a lot. After spending a couple of hours with the chef, we can see that he is the king of the kitchen. In 2010, French gastronomy was recognized as an intangible cultural heritage by the UNESCO.
В французских традициях, что главное, это как мы определяем опыт гастрономии. То есть, конечно, все народы...
What's special about French gastronomic traditions is the way we treat the gastronomic experience. All nations like food, but French people invented the food science and studies which shows our serious approach to cooking. It all started in ancient times when there were famous chefs at the royal court who even committed suicide if they failed with the dinner.
Очень известные шефы, повара, которые иногда даже дошли до самоубийства, когда провалился ужин.
Children's and Youth Theatre, named after Natalia Sats in Almaty, presented a premiere of a famous play based on Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book. The new interpretation of the book turned out to be appealing for both children and adults. The play was a vibrant show with talented cast and outstanding production.
Можно, в принципе, сопоставить наш мир с миром джунглей, потому что, в принципе...
The human community can be compared to the jungle because there are certain relations existing among animals and they have certain rules. There are also traitors and troublemakers, such as Tabaki, for example, and those who always give a helping hand. The same happens in the animal world. The only difference is that a human is a foreign creature in the jungle, but he was accepted and became like an animal among them.
И он становится как зверь среди этих зверей.
The team worked to prepare the performance for 3 months. By means of the animals, the actors exposed the main human values such as honesty, respect, and loyalty.
Я люблю образы, где можно попробовать себя в пластике.
I like roles which involve flexible movements. Animal characters provide a variety of expressive means for actors. I have 2 cats at home, and the black one is definitely Bagheera. I was observing it for the role. It was not easy, but I did my best.
За ним наблюдала. Да, было тяжеловато, конечно, но я старалась.
Spectators were captivated by the decorations, special effects, and bright costumes. The producers came up with 27 costumes for the play. The designers used hundreds of meters of fabric and several weeks to make the costumes. The costumes of Bagheera and Kaa were decorated with rhinestones, which emphasized the animals' flexibility. In making of the costumes, we were careful in the selection of fabrics and fittings. The items are hand-embroidered. Compared to other plays, the costumes in this production are more spectacular and bright. Stage director Vladimir Ponomaryov managed to recreate the jungle on the stage using lighting effects and bright fabrics. The production team used thousands of meters of handmade mesh and fabrics of various textures, such as gabardine, felt, and brocade. Each team member contributed to the production and did their best to make the audience want to reread the book.